Welcome to Spider Project tutorial. Today's session is going to be about calendars. To be able to access calendars in Spider Project, you either go via the main menu, View, Calendars, and this is where you can find your calendars list, your working weeks list, and calendar exception settings. All of these areas could be also accessed via the quick access toolbar on your left, calendars, working weeks, and exceptions. Let's go into our calendars list. View calendars. We can see that we have only one calendar at the moment. Let's just double click on that line and we get into the calendar form. I'd like to change my calendar title and call it office hours. I'd like to also change the unique code to make it a little bit more meaningful. This is the main calendar. It's only one at the moment, but if we would have more calendars on our list, we could select another one and make that one as a main calendar by just clicking that Make Main button. We can see this calendar is based on the working week A settings. This is where all of these working hours are coming from. We could also change that to another working week if we wanted to by just clicking that select button and picking that working week from the weeks list, and I'll show you in a moment how to do that. We can in our calendar form we also have exceptions area. This is where we set up our public holidays, non-working time, and we can just add those from the calendar exceptions list. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment as well. For now, I think we're happy with our calendar settings. Click Apply and OK. And let's go into our working week settings. View, Calendars, Weeks. So this is where we keep our working week settings. Let's double click on that blank week line. And you can see there's no any working time assigned to that. And blank week is basically your non-working time setting. And this is where you assign all your public holidays and non-working time, Christmas break, etc. I think we'll just click Apply and OK for now. I'd like to go to the line Week A. Double click on that, we get into the week form settings. And I'd like to call this week settings Office Hours Week. And I'd like to change the code as well. So I think we're happy with all the hours for now. Let's click OK. And now we're going back to the calendars list. I'm going to go to that through the quick access toolbar, calendars. If we look at what we've got now, we have office hours calendar that is based on the office hours week. It's a 5-day working week, and these are the hours assigned to that. So I think we're happy with our settings. We also have some exceptions there, New Year and Christmas. And I think this is good. So if we go back to our activity Gantt view and go to that table and right click, show columns, and I'd like to bring into the view the calendar field. We could do, run the search by column name in this area, in this field, but because it's just all alphabetically listed, I can easily find my calendar field on the top of the list. I just double click on that and I can see that all of my activities in the existing project schedule example are based on the office hours calendar. What if I wanted to create another calendar? Most of my activities in this project, they are all construction related activities, and I'd like to have another calendar for that. So I'll go to my View Calendars list. And to save us time typing, I'm just going to duplicate that line. Just go right-click, copy, right-click, paste. it would ask me for, a unique prefixing coding to be created. I'll just say OK for now. And because I didn't specify what kind of prefixing I'd like to be, set up there, it just assigned, a number at the end of that code to keep it unique. I'll double click on that line. We go into that particular calendar form. And I'd like to change that calendar name to be called something, maybe construction hours calendar. And I'd like to change the code for that as well. So you can see that this calendar is still referring to the office hours week, and I'd like to change that. So let's just click apply and OK, and go to our working week settings. View, calendars, weeks. Let's take a similar step. Duplicate that line, right click, copy, right click, paste, and I'll just say OK. It's assigning the unique code to my new created align item. And I'll just double click on that, and I get into the week form. I'd like to call it construction hours week. And I'll make sure that my coding is unique and meaningful. And let's imagine I would have different working time set up as well. So what if I wanted to have working time from 8 to 12 noon, and then I have an hour of lunch break, and then the hours continue from 1 to 6 o'clock. And I'd like that to be applied, copy paste, to all of the other days, including Saturday. So if I hit apply button, all of the working days and hours get recalculated. You can see that. Click apply. Let's go back to our calendars view. Calendars. And from my construction hours calendar, I'll just double click that calendar in that form. I'd like to change that assignment from week office hours week to my construction hours week. You can see how all of the properties of my working time has been replicated based on that working week selection. Let's say OK, apply, and OK. So what if I wanted to select another public holiday? Let's go into the calendar exceptions, and I'd like to add another one. Go right click, new, and just double click on that line, and you get into the calendar exception form. Let's just call it a public holiday. And for now, give it a unique code. And I'd like this to be June the 3rd and finishing June the 4th. So that's my non-working time. And you can see it's all assigned to my non-working time. Yep, and I'd like that public holiday to be applicable to both of my existing calendars, construction hours calendar and the office hours calendar. And that's how I do it. I just select the calendar and click the assign button. So I can assign my exceptions, my calendar exception, to a certain calendar from this calendar exceptions card. Apply and go OK. So, and now if I go to my calendars list again, just to double check, and I'd like to see if my public holiday has been actually added. Yes, it has been added to both of my calendars. Let's go to our activity Gantt chart view. And I'd like my activities to now be reassigned to another calendar. So if I just double click on that calendar field, I can select my construction hours calendar for that activity, or I could just select the whole list of activities I'd like to be reassigned to another calendar by holding a Shift and arrow down keys and just go right click, and I use the fill function of Spider Project, and I would like those cells to have reference to the construction hours calendar, and I click OK. And you can see all of that has been changed now. So if I click my simple scheduling button, and to make it visible a bit more, I'll just use the detailed schedule calculation. I just tick that box, click OK, and you can see now, because I've ticked that box, I can see all the working timing for each day. And we can see immediately that the duration of the activities has changed. By default, it was 5 working days, and now I've got another calendar here with longer hours and longer working week, and my duration has been recalculated. Now it's taking less time to deliver these activities. But also remember our public holidays that we've just populated. You can see there's nothing happening on that day, the 3rd of June, that we just made a public holiday, because it's all non-working time. So hopefully that all makes sense, and you've enjoyed our session today, and see you next time. Bye-bye.